Realistic expectations. You need to know the market. What makes it a tenant's market? Well, right now, a tenant's market is here in Austin is because there's a surplus of space. Landlords are hungry to do deals. Tenants can pretty much write their own ticket. They can set the rental rate, they can ask for free rent, they can ask for tenant improvement dollars to be added in from the landlord. Now, of course, the landlord has to make some economic decisions on to whether or not that's a good deal or not. But right now, it is absolutely a tenant's market. There's a lot of vacant space, about 14% in Austin right now in early 2011. You also need to know the process. You need to be able to evaluate the economics of a deal. Just because you believe you should be able to get half price rent doesn't necessarily mean the landlord's going to go to that direction. They have property managers, they have asset managers, they have leasing agents that know what the market is all about. And this is their job. This is what they do for a living, is lease out their space. They know what they can afford to do and what they can afford not to do, or what they can't afford to do. You need to price the build out. You need to know ahead of time when a landlord says, I'm going to give you, I don't know, $10,000. Sounds like a very big bucket of money for you to use toward build out. It doesn't go very far. If you have to build out, your HVAC system, all of your electrical, plumbing, it can really add up. A restroom, typical restroom for a, say, a retail space, could cost you about $10,000 or more. So it's very expensive. And you also have to know about evaluating the risk itself. If you are a startup, you're probably going to have to put up a letter of credit or a substantially larger deposit than someone that's been in business for quite a while. You'll also have to personally guarantee the lease, even if you have an LLC or an incorporated status. The landlords don't want you to hide behind that, and they will make sure that you personally guarantee, or someone else that you know is going to personally guarantee. You also need to know the limitations. The security deposit, the build out, the first month's rent, all of that's going to be asked up front. If you have to put a sign in, that can also add up, $3,000 to $5,000 for a retail sign, possibly more. The rent due dates. Make sure that your cash flow can sustain the rent due dates. Typically, rent is due on the 1st, and it's late on the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, what have you. And there can be significant consequences for paying late. Essentially, you go into default. And before I go any further, I want to let you know, I'm a real estate broker. I do not practice law. The information I'm giving you is essentially business points that you should be aware of. At the end of this, I will remind you once again that you really should have a competent real estate attorney look over your lease before you sign it. Construction issues. You need to know about construction and how long things take. Who's responsible for what part of the construction. Maintenance issues. Who's going to be responsible for janitorial? Who's going to be responsible for changing out light fixtures or ballasts? Who's going to repair carpet if there's a run in the carpet? These are things that you need to set at the beginning of your lease before it gets too deep, before you have an obligation that you end up having to put even more money in that you weren't prepared for. It all starts with your business plan. Most landlords are going to make sure that they're taking a good risk. They don't want to take bad risks. No one in business does. They're going to want to ask for your business plan on occasion before you sign a lease. If you've been in business for a while and they understand your concept, you have some I guess, longevity with your business, they may not ask for this, but they might. Lenders ask for business plans. Landlords are no different. Essentially, they're loaning you their space for a specific period of time, and they want to make sure that they're making a good decision. If you don't have a business plan, landlords really think that you're just running your business day by day. Business plan keeps you focused and on track. Everyone knows that. If you go out for funding, you're going to need to present a clearly written description of your business model, your background, why you got into this business, what's your product, your finances, what's your vision for the future, growth, etc. A lease is a form of funding by a landlord, and they want to know that you have a plan in place to meet that obligation, the lease payment.